Good morning, welcome to the show. Adu and the Guru is on the air. It's time for us to get straight into the conversation. So, you are welcome, and just to remind you, you can join the conversation with our social media platforms, Twitter and WhatsApp, to let you have a say on all the stories that I'll be talking about today. Just to remind you that this show does take a look at the top stories that have made the rounds in the papers, not necessarily today, but which are in the news and our front burner. And we're going to have a historical perspective as well as a periscopical look at all of these stories and more. And it's not Adu and the Guru without us having the Guru with us live in the studio. And before I bring him to the microphone, I want to remind you of the numbers you can use to get to us on WhatsApp. It's 0809-234-5913, 0809-234-5913. Use that to get to us, and you can join the conversation. Having said that, without further ado, let's bring to the mic, introduce to some and present to others, the editor-at-large of the newsguru.com, the one who is a veteran journalist of over 40 years of experience. He is a fatherly man with a heart full of wisdom. He's also literally a walking encyclopedia. Talking about none other than the one and only, the Guru. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Adu.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm very fine today.
Today we become evil of ourselves by 11 minutes. It used to be the sports desk, but today the sports desk vacated. We're not prepared to take. So, apology for this. This is really apology. Listeners, we are welcome to Adu and the Guru. We don't have to waste time anymore. Because today we are overloaded. We might not even be finishing the menu. Or those very, very important ones, we must talk about them. So let's go straight away to the historical perspective. We probably would have been digging into Periscope, but I don't know if time will accommodate us. The historical perspective is a sad one, but nevertheless, it remains historical perspective. So please listen to this. How many of you heard a name, Major Dollard Idowu Bamidele? Major Daniel Idowu Bamidele. Maybe you heard of the name in 1983, or you heard of the name in 1984, or finally you probably heard of the name on March 5, 1986. Major Daniel Bamidele was an officer of the Nigerian Army. Very, very brilliant officer. Very, very brilliant. Everywhere he schooled, there are testimonies to him being very, very brilliant. This is the story of the life, which eventually I've recorded as one of the greatest historical perspectives that is being presented. My heart is heavy as I'm presenting the case, or as I'm presenting this perspective, this historical perspective. My heart is heavy. In October 1983, the Chief of Army Staff Conference held that October 1983 in Jos, where Major General Muhammadu Buhari presided as the GOC, General Officer commanding that div. Critical decisions were taken somehow. But before the meeting, the conference of the Chief of Army Staff of that 1983, some elements in the Nigerian Army had been cooking the food of which we always know as coup d'etat, believing that Shehu Shagari and his government were not following the path that ought to be followed. So by the time the Chief of Staff Conference head, a lot of allegations were brought against the government of the day, Shehu Shagari government. And don't forget, Shehu Shagari had Alex Ekweme as his vice president. The corruption that had erupted that time was brought and tabled before by the conference. It was widely discussed that this was bad. And the conference equally mentioned things like the police have started acquiring APC, that is armored personnel carrier. Of course, the armored personnel carrier the army alluded to were not the military type of armored personnel carrier. As a matter of fact, they were not armored personnel carrier. They were vehicle built in the format of armored personnel carrier. They had no bulletin, but they had water tank divided into two. One very chilly water, the other one very, not too hot, but hot water anyway, but not too hot to kill somebody. It was in preparation for the general election of 1983 that the new Inspector General of Police then, Sunday Adewusi, pressurized his boss to arm the police force more. And one of those things purchased in preparation of those who might want to articulate protests or whatever was that vehicle. That's number one. Sunday Adewusi made case and the president accepted it. And they purchased Rover's car for the police. But not for the top echelon of the police command, no. Purely for operational movement. Because the prevailing cars of that in those era, when Obasanjo came, Obasanjo leveled down to Peugeot as official car, though they would ride Peugeot during official hour. At night, they would be riding this Mercedes Benz that people attached to Shehu Shagari at the time, say Shehu Shagari and Co. In pursuit of criminals, the vehicle that the police owned were not enough in speed and everything to override the criminals, who were using mostly Peugeot 504, mostly the new version SR. And don't forget that the fourth set of SR that were imported into this country were brought in by Akiluyi, the chairman, late Chief Akiluyi, the chairman of the MPN then. The first batch that were discharged from Tinker Island Port were 7 of them. Now, the government decided in wisdom to import Rovers, which could gather speed up to 200 kilometers per hour, and at which the Peugeot or every other car that the criminals would be using at any given time of such confrontation. All these were tabled and discussed by the Nigeria Army personnel that gathered in that year, Chief of Army Staff Conference. So what was laid down was the coup plan. But of course, coup can never be property of generality. It must be few selected, and for the reasons of the risk associated with it. Because in coup, if you win, you can become Your Excellency, your wife can become First Lady. If you lose, you become executed, your wife become
widowed.
But there is a language, one book written by another military officer in Ghana put it. I've forgotten it now. Maybe I will refresh my memory by reading the book again. Unfortunately, that military officer that wrote that book was involved in a coup and he was executed later. No, First Lady and First Widow. That's in the other side, she can become First Lady. In the other side too, or no, in this side, she can become First Lady. At the other side of losing, she can become First Widow. It is for that reason that whenever coup were in those days, thank God, coup have can no more come to this country. By the grace of God Almighty, and especially grace of the knowledge of Olusegun Obasanjo, who established the Oputa panel. The Oputa panel, if there's one work that was assigned to the Oputa panel, or that the Oputa panel raveled or unraveled, was demystification of the military. Because if you remember and go back through the record now, you will see that the Oputa panel military were coming to allege. So no one trained and wise. So anyway, but that's not the issue today. The issue now is that a coordinator is always appointed to coordinate the movement, because those that will be involved, they don't normally meet themselves. It is one coordinator that is appointed that will be moving from, so as to remove suspicion, because if groups of officers are meeting continuously and continually, it might raise suspicion. Major Daniel Idowu Bamidele, who was in the 3rd Div in Jos, was informed by one of his friends that, oh boy, we are planning Tino. We are planning coup. And he did not want to participate. I'm talking of Major Daniel Idowu Bamidele now. So what did he do? He went straight to see his DOC, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, and told Major General Muhammadu Buhari, Oga, there is something I heard. It is coming. A coup. 2 days after meeting President Muhammadu Buhari and telling President Muhammadu Buhari, Major Daniel Idowu Bamidele, the whistleblower, should I call him that? The whistleblower now.
Yes, the whistleblower.
The whistleblower now found himself arrested, put in a plane, and brought to Lagos and detained by the Directorate of Military Intelligence at Tego Barracks. And he was accused of plotting a coup. This man said, plotting a coup? How could I have plotted a coup? I couldn't. I don't know anything about it. He was in detention. Unknown to him, the GOC he went to report the matter to was the mover, shaker, introducer of the coup. That is Major General Muhammadu Buhari. Because eventually when the coup came, the first beneficiary of that coup was Major General Muhammadu Buhari, who became head of state. He benefited primarily on that coup. It was the man that loyalty and call of duty moved Major Daniel Idowu Bamidele to report to him. He never knew that he was reporting to a man who was primary in bringing the democratic system of government down to benefit from it. He spent the better part of his serving this in detention. Even after Muhammadu Buhari had become the head of state, it did not occur to him to say, okay, let me intervene on behalf of this boy and remove it. Because what he did was what is the written law in the military, loyalty. Attempt is being made like this, sir. Eventually, for lack of evidences and and of course, the coup he went to report had happened. It couldn't have been and of course, every member of the military became a beneficiary of that coup. He was eventually released from prison or from detention. Then Major Daniel Bamidele took the decision. Never in his life again would he hear something like this and meet whoever my oga to report. I will never again. Because how would I know that I will not be walking into another man who is preparing this thing? Unfortunately, The coup that Mama Vasa was brought into as a leader, which took the life of Mama Vasa. Again, Major Daniel Bamidele heard of it, that another coup was brewing. But he decided, because of his past experience, to keep quiet, not to talk. And the coup now failed. Because the difference of wearing your khaki very well tailored and taking salutes every now and then is between failure and success. The coup of Mama Vasa, as we're told, failed. And when those who are privy, because in the military, if you are privy to the information, you heard it, you are as guilty as the one that participated. Bamidele was arrested again of hearing of the coup and not reported to the appropriate authority. Listen to this. The word faith came in again. Faith I'm talking is not F-A-I-T-H, but F-A-T-E. It came. And the tribunal shared by, I remember his name very well, Major General Charles Duomo. I think the son is still in the Nigerian Army, I don't know, because as far back as to 2014, I think the son was already a Brigadier General. I don't know, maybe he's retired or I don't know. Charles Duomo, very, 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 very friendly guy in life, because if you start with Charles Duomo, if Charles Duomo will be laughing, he will start the laughing out like this. And he would continue until water will be dropping from his two eyes. That was Charles Duomo for you. Very, very friendly. But of course, an erudite who knows the military law very well and operated. Charles Duomo was the chairman of the tribunal. And those paraded before the tribunal that the tribunal condemned to death included Major Daniel Bamidele. I want to read the statement Major Daniel Bamidele made to the tribunal where sentence was passed on him to die. And after my head is making some noise that I want to read this because, like as I said, it was with very sorrowful heart. Bamidele was to the tribunal. Please listen. I heard of the 1983 coup planning. I told my GOC, Major General Muhammadu Buhari. He detained me in Lagos. Instead of a pat on the back, I received stab. How then do you expect me to report any coup I would have to any person? The last part of his statement. This is not self-adulation, but a sincere summary of the qualities inherent in me. It is an irony of fate that the president of the tribunal, Major General Charles Duomo, who in 1964 felt that I was good enough to take training in the UK, is now saddled with the duty of showing me the exit from the force and the world. So I'm exiting the world. I did nothing wrong, but here I am exiting the world. Those were his statements.
Were there not evidence-based trials in those days?
Please go and ask Major General Muhammadu Buhari that question. And Ibrahim Babangida, First General Ibrahim Babangida, who admitted of being a perpetual coupist. I don't think I'll be able to answer that question. I'm sad. As I give the historical perspective of Major Daniel Bamidele. I don't know what to say. How many years ago now? May his soul rest in perfect peace. Adu? go to the distance. Let's run.
Thank you, Guru, for taking us down history lane. The menu today is quite elaborate, and we are going to make sure that we let you have a say as much as possible. Canada Premier suspends Nigerian-born Attorney General over traffic fine. That's from the This Day newspaper. Another one of the menu: pay us or face attacks. Bandits right 9 Zamfara communities, and that's from the Premium Times. Menu number 3: Mohammed Bello Koko. I was appointed MPA acting MD on merit. And that's called from This Day newspaper. Menu number 4: why I resigned. APC Governors Forum DG is the one speaking. Premium Times has that story. And we go to menu number 5 now, which is break-in. Court orders FG to pay Kanu 1 billion naira. That's from The Nation newspaper. And menu number 6: President didn't order fuel subsidy removal. Lawan clarifies. And that's from The Guardian newspaper. From the Vanguard 2023, Ohanieze shortlists Amechi, pledges 10 billion naira for Igbo presidency. And menu number 8, another breaking story from the Punch. INEC counters Tinubu, says PVC has not expired. Menu number 9, Labour lists conditions for fuel subsidy removal, says $9.5 billion wasted on refineries. And this is according to the Punch newspaper. Menu number 10, no poll timetable till electoral bill is signed into law, INEC says. And this is from the Vanguard newspaper. And menu number 11, Electoral Act Amendment. Bill bars voters from contesting candidate certificates in court. This is according to the Punch newspaper. And menu number 12, which will be the final menu for today. Abiola died after falling ill and was not killed. Who is clarifying? General Abdusalami is the one who's making that clarification, and he made that assertion from the pages of the Daily Post newspaper.
Thank you very much, Shadu.
Yes, sir.
I'm under the temptation to start from the last. And there are very cogent reasons. Because if you look at the last, Abiola died after falling ill, was not killed.
Mm-hmm.
Then Electoral Act Amendment, bars voters from contesting candidate certificates in court. That is menu number 11.
Yes, and that was in the Punch newspaper.
Punch newspaper. Okay. I shall still go and start the 2 last. Whichever ladder will be able to climb very, very fast will run up. So, listener, I'm taking it this way now. You are welcome. Please listen to this. Okay. Abiola died after falling ill. He was not killed by us or by anybody. This is General Abdusalami Abubakar. The question is that suddenly, how many years ago Abiola died?
More than 24, 25
years ago. Suddenly, Abdusalam Abubakar brought himself to the dock. He was never prosecuted. Neither was there any judge that said, go to the dock, now step into the dock to defend yourself. Take oath. Everything you shall say here now. Nothing like that. Why would Abubakar found it convenient? Because it was one of the interviews he granted to Trust Television. Now, the question is this: who brought Abdulsalam Abubakar to the dock? He wasn't the person that got Abiola arrested. Abacha said got Abiola arrested. The fall of Abiola had been dug by his very, very great friend, Ibrahim Babangida. And Ibrahim Babangida used a man that Abiola sponsored Moshi business, Zerbi. Then Obasanjo walked very religiously to the manifestation of Abiola, not climbing the tree not climbing the throne. Let me use the appropriate language. All of them, in one way or the other, if Abiola is God will bring his judgment on all of them. But who brought Abdulsalam Abubakar to the dock to defend himself?
Well, was he not the one who was head of state when it happened?
Yes. After Shuleko left, after Abacha died, Abacha took over. Abacha died, then he took over. It was Mustafa Hamza, the chief security officer to Abacha, that made the call to him that this is what happened in the villa now. The first thing, let me put it on record, let me say it as it went. Major Al-Mustafa Hamza, when the boss died, he saw the boss dying. It was for that reason, go back to the records to put a panel and listen to the evidences that were placed. He told you how Abacha convulsed, and he told you how Abiola convulsed. Or let me use our layman language. How Abiola jerked and how Abacha jerked. Abacha died before Abiola.
Yes.
What Mustafa did, if he had wanted to take over the government of Nigeria that day, he would have taken it over. Nobody would have been able to stop him. Because he was in charge of everything. But he consulted Ibrahim Babangida and told Ibrahim Babangida, this is what happened. Sir, what would you say I should go? It was Ibrahim Babangida that suggested the name of Abubakar. Absalam. It should be the appropriate person to take over. Because Jerry was there. Jerry Husseini was a 3-star general. Abdulsalam Abubakar was a 2-star general. And Jerry Husseini was too much the closest friend, militarily speaking, of Abacha that died. Poor Major, I call him poor because after making it possible, God used him to bring Abdulsalam Abubakar to power. The first person. Okay. I used a language here the other day. I thought of Yoruba proverb. Afobageloba kokokpa. Many people call me on Twitter had come that time. Okay. Because while Twitter was banned in Nigeria, I went off Twitter. So I want to confirm that again. Twitter had come that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Many people call me. Many people send me messages, Facebook, everywhere. That, please give us elaboratively the meaning of that proverb. Most of them are Yoruba. And then I told them, sure, how would it be Kobo that will tell you the translation of this language? But probably if you listen now, you will know. Immediately Abdulsalam Abubakar came to power, one of the first people that he freed every person. No doubt about it. This beautiful girl who was a commissioner for information in Imo State, who was a radio broadcaster journalist, forgot her name now, I don't know why. He released all of them. But one of those that he arrested was El Mustafa. And M. Mustafa remained in prison, Kirikiri, for 12 years. Even when Obasanjo came. Don't forget, Absalam Abubakar did not spend a year. About 9 months or thereabout. Which one should praise him for? One should praise Abubakar for that. One should praise Olusegun Obasanjo, who with all things falling his part, when he took over in 1976 or what, when Murtala Muhammad was killed, he did not, he gave a date. Because one of their, when President Muhammad Buhari, then Major General Buhari took over, when he was asked, when are you going to hand over, he did not give date. He said he cannot commit himself to that. But Olusegun Obasanjo found his exit and left the stage. The same thing Abubakar did. It was one of the reasons that on the day of handing over, that date, was it 29 of May? No, I don't think it was 29 of May that Abubakar handed over to Obasanjo. It was it 29, either October or something. One of the commendations that Obasanjo made on Abubakar was that for you to have, everything is working your way, but you insisted that you are vacating. It is a difficult decision for officers. He said because every officer will be coming to tell you, we are not leaving, no. Where are you taking us to? Now, M. Mustafa now remains in detention. So if you want to know this story, it is not Absalam Abubakar one should ask of who killed Abiola or how did Abiola died. So Absalam Abubakar, with all due respect to you, sir, with everything good you've done for Nigeria and in Nigeria, because beyond that, I will have time will be working against me if I should go into the narrative of how you tried your little best to save Nigeria when Abacha ordered the first onslaught against protesters in Lagos. When Pa Michael Otedola, Lagos State Governor, then said, "Oh, Sumi, Ewagba Ijobayin." What you did by having the accurate of number of people that were slaughtered by the military under protest. Abubakar, your name is godly written in my heart. But now that you have come to explain this, I think what took you to the box, to the, not box, docks. What took you there is your conscience. It's your conscience. You knew more than what you are telling us. And I'm not thinking of too many Nigerians that want to listen to you in your narration, because the trajectories are different entirely. Instead, people should go to the put a panel, either report or the video, everything. Listen to narration of person. I'm not saying he's sick. This boy from Kano, Hamza Mustafa. I'm not saying no. And I'm not saying there are no places he tried to narrow the narration into some difficult terrain. No. But listen to his statement. What are you telling me, sir? He was sick. So when he was brought was when he was sick. Even the international media suspects very much the American delegations, the role they play. Mostly, what was the position of Rice then? Rice had been somebody who had been so much tied all his life with security services. Which role? What about that tea that he drank?
In fact, on Google, when you check his date of exit, it's written assassinated. 1998.
So, Oga Abubakar.
That's the way it's described.
Of course, not too many Nigerians will believe you. I cannot say 2% of the 206 or two. How many are we?
Yeah, 206 in counting.
In counting. That will believe you. You shouldn't have done this thing. I will conclude by saying this. Chinua Achebe wrote a book before he died. The book had not been published before he died. It was still a script, but it was published after he had gone. Who will undermine the accuracy and acumen of Chinua Achebe in writing, in literary work? No, nobody. But one of his best friends, Wole Soyinka, in reviewing the book, said, "This is a work I wish Chinua Achebe did not do. The name of the book, there was the country. In quoting Wole Soyinka Sir, General, 4-star General Absalom Abubakar, former head of state, and a very, very prestigious statesman of Nigeria today, I respect all the work you are doing, including the peace, signing an accord for election and all those. What you did during, but sir, this became a statement you shouldn't have made, because this exposed your complicity and your people complicity more into the matter. I raise the case there. Number 11. I told you I'm starting from downstream sector. Number 11. 2023 is being jeopardized as it is most likely to have been compromised. 2023 general election. The amendment, the electoral amendment bill, when it came first, our representatives, either in the House of Representatives or in the Senate, rose astutely against it, with the Senate leading the antagonism against it. The Senate saw in their wisdom, Senate, the senior partner in lawmaking for Nigeria. It is expected that every senator, every House of Representatives should have read the existing constitution. The 1999 constitution has amended many, many times. I know every chapter, every verse, every out by heart. That Senate move to invite NCC, National Communication Commission, and put it in black and white under new law, submitting the independence of, stripped naked, the independence allocated or legally given to the INEC, that is Independent National Electoral Commission, and subdued the authority, the independence, and the powers of INEC under NCC by saying, if NCC says, then INEC could go. The first coup against Nigeria. Nigeria cried out. Then they came back. I spoke out in this studio that all Nigeria, you saw Nigeria people prepare. With the next election, 2023, vote every member now in the Senate and vote them out. Vote in any other new person. You may not even know the character of the person, because that is the only way to punish them for going anti-Nigeria. It is not a matter of the devil you know. It's better than the angel you've never met. Sometimes that is, to me, I don't believe in that. They return back from their allowances, pulling holidays. Then suddenly they say, oh no, electronic transfer, this transfer, the supremacy of INEC cannot be touched. They agree. Then suddenly they brought insertion that direct primaries is the only thing. This was not considered before. How come? They brought it out. And it came in. And all of that said two things. One, if the president fails to accede to it, we will veto or we will override the veto of the president, because by not acceding to it, he had vetoed it. So we will override by just majority to third majority of both houses. And all of them were speaking this one as they were going on holidays all over the world, when they told Nigerians all those big lies that we are going for constituency consultations
and review.
The consultation they went. Then suddenly they return back. The president vetoed it, and the president stood on only one ground. If we are practicing democracy, slimlining this thing to only one option, that is not democratic. So remove that. I will stand. I will. And the president faced Channel television interview. Among where and Shehu Akibaluye interviewed the president. And the question was brought, and the president said, yes, if they remove that, I will sign it. So they came back, their bragados, their bacadabra of language, the arrogancy, empty arrogancy that has no base, either in heaven or hell, even not in purgatory, of we will override, died down silently. Because in the first place, who? The rubber stamp National Assembly will not. Then they said, the president of the Senate told us, the speaker told us. The speaker said, I introduced that
direct primaries clause.
I still stand by it. But if this is, we will do it like this. Nigerians, are you listening to me? Do you know that there is a new clause the night inserted into the called amendment, which I believe the president will not accept? Because if I were the president, I would not sign it. It means since the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, constitutionally speaking, has no right to put his pen, to abbreviate, or to put comma, or to put full stop, or to put whatever, to remove a little or to add a little. He has no authority to do that. So if he returned it, the president is most likely to return this one if it goes back. I do. You may not have known that Electoral Act Amendment Bill bars voters from contesting candidate certificates in court. The whole world, please, thank God you are listening to me all over the world. This new bill now that has been concluded on Friday, I don't know whether it has been transmitted to the president. It comes with an amendment to Section 31(5) of the Electoral Act. What Section 31(5) of that act says, in as it were, before this insertion, is that any aspirant who participated in the primaries of his political party who has reasonable grounds to believe. No.
Well, must be the new one.
No, this is the new one. Let me read what the old one holds also. Section 31, subsection 5 of the Electoral Act as presently in existence says, any person who has reasonable grounds to believe that any information given by a candidate in the affidavit or any document submitted by that candidate is false may file a suit at the Federal High Court of a state, or the Federal Court of the Capital Territory, Federal Capital Territory, against such a person seeking a declaration that the information contained in the affidavit is false. This is the provision of the electoral law. Prior. No, let us.
Oh, okay.
It's still the provision of the electoral law, because until it is asserted to it, there will be nothing. Now, after removing whatever, instead of them to allow this one to go so that the reformation we are looking for is coming, I said it one time that there probably could be conspiracy between some elements in executive and majority of the representative, mostly in Senate, to throw this thing here and there until such a time that Nigeria will be tired of it and the reformation will not take place. Because what is needed to be reformed now is the winning formula for incompetent and compromised and corrupt politicians. Why would a good coach want to change a winning team? I have always been echoing on this thing. The laws are reformed. If we move Nigeria from analog into digitalized in electoral matters, all those frauds that are associated with the manual moving of results will die, or will die naturally. Then all these people that are representing you there, that are not fit and not all of them, most of them not fit and qualified by every intent and purposes. How would they get there? In order for all of them to get there, they want to retain the analog. I said it that I am suspecting there probably could be. Now it is becoming more obvious that either the House or the National Assembly don't know what they are doing, or they are introducing wickedness, or there is an unholy alliance at a decision taking at one unholy hour of one unholy night between a cabal, or between the egghead of the executive and them. Now, it is by virtue of this 31.5, section 31.5, that I'm coming to read the discussion, but let me put it this way. That the governor that won the election and declared the winner and issued a certificate by INEC for Bayelsa State, governor of APC. You remember? Doye Diri. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That. It because of this section 35, section 35 of 5. In full, because it is not those who contested the primaries that went to court, but those who have evidence that the affidavit sworn to of certificates of everything by the deputy governor were not true. And the court proved that they were not true. Since you cannot be a governor without nominating your deputy, and if your deputy has baggages, the baggages rub on you, then the Supreme Court disqualified it. In spite or despite the fact that INEC can issue certificate. Please, let's take note. It is not those who contested the APC primary for the governorship that it is other people that have facts. That's number one. Number two, in the case of Lawrence versus PDP and others, 2017, the Supreme Court, in a judgment read by Justice Walter Onoge, said, from the provisions of Section 31.5 of the Electoral Act 2010, as amended supra, it is not in doubt that it confers local standing on any person. Any person is the key word here now. The clash here is any person, whether a member of a political party or not, to invoke the jurisdiction of the High Court in accordance with the said provisions, and the court has the requisite vials to hear and determine his case. Agreeing with Onoge reading, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, well-known jurist, said, Section 31.5 of the Electoral Act 2010, as amended, empowers any person, the word again is any person, with reasonable grounds to believe that any information given by a candidate is false to institute on an action before any of the high courts to seek a declaration that such information is false. So this was the pattern followed that removed Doye Diri with his running mate, who they said carry a lot of luggage. Biobara Kuma, Degi, Ermioyo, and threw them out. Now, Nigerians, let's go back to what the new thing is started now. Like as direct primary was decided when it was not a matter of the day, the section 35, subsection 5 of it, I mean section 31, subsection 5, now says, any aspirant who participated in the primaries of his political party, who has reasonable grounds to believe that any information given by his political party's candidate in the affidavit or any document submitted by that candidate in relation to his constitutional requirements to contest the election is false, may file a suit at the Federal High Court against that candidate, seeking a declaration that the information contained in the affidavit is false.
So it changes voter or person to aspirant.
What is being said here is that unless we are one of the aspirants at the primaries, you as a Nigerian who has the fact cannot anymore.
So, question, sir.
Please go ahead.
Let me ask the
I'll be okay.
Let me ask the intelligent thinking.
Yes.
In a place where now they've taken direct primaries out in the scenarios, and there's a consensus for a candidate, and the candidate does not have a co-aspirant in the party, and the candidate files false documentation, it means the new law would allow the candidate to go on to...
Yes.
Okay.
But don't think these people are foolish. They know what they're doing. What they want to truncate is the formation of the electoral bill. Because the winning formula, the winning team they have is magu-magu. Please, the word magu-magu is not in dictionary, but Oxford should take it to dictionary now. Last year, Oxford took 27 or 38 in Nigerian languages to dictionary.
Yes.
They should take magu-magu. One of my good friends, still very much alive, he read electrical engineer Wali Ahmed. He was at the time the Nigeria Post Authority managing director, and he became the longest serving managing director of the Nigeria Post Authority. He served other 5 head of states, or you call them president. Only one man. And served under over 30 ministers. He has a language. You say, Godiko, these women in that department, magu-magu too much. They are magu-magu. No, I want straight. So it's the magu-magu I'm using to do. Please, these people are doing what they are doing because of their wickedness, because they want to be stealing our money unjustifiably, because they want to return back there. What is the success of those individuals that have been there 5 years? 5 tenure. Those that are there for tenure. Tell me the success. Is it because capability to be sleeping continually in the hole? When they show you the hollow chamber, they are either the red or the yellow or the blue.
You call the hollow chamber. It's not supposed to be hallowed.
No. Why hallowed? H-A-L-L. Hollowed. What have they achieved? But they want to. So what they are doing now, by sanction of this, because my mind is that if I were the president, I would sign this. Let us look at arguments. Let's look at arguments that come to the thing. Now, the freedom of speech law is law. It's not a bill. Because the bill attached to it is so sweet that people still call it bill. It's a law. Says you can file and ask questions, and you'll be told. If you file and ask questions and be told, now, this man did not go to that school, no, this is the school he went. You mean you cannot, therefore, implement that constitutional empowerment of that bill to go to court to stop it. That's number one. If that is done, meaning this amendment would have retired the existence of that provision of law of freedom to ask questions and use it. There are many things. You need to see what Falana spoke about it. You need to see what Etakibuebu spoke about it. You need to see what every person. What of matter of fact, maybe 4 or 5 people contested in the primaries. The 5 don't have information concerning Adu and the Guru. And the person who had all the information is an outsider, like the case of Dori in Bayelsa State. So, it should not move. Meaning, you cannot see unqualified people will be feeding their shoe. But that is not the reason. The reason is that it may be the caucus that came together on that unholy hour of one unholy night must have agreed that the president said he will sign it if this is the only thing. Why don't you assert this again, which will be very, very controversial? And the president will tell you that he's a Democrat. Of course, President Muhammadu Buhari is now a born-again Democrat. He's not the
autocratic.
autocratic and of them. If I were president, I would say, no, I cannot sign this. So, can't you hear the cry all over Nigeria? I represent the people of Nigeria. Why? And the thing will come back. Please, just oppose this against the background of the information. INEC, because I will be able to go to that again. INEC said, until
it's signed. No poll timetable.
No poll timetable until the amendment is signed. It means, and INEC said, give a time lag that if it is not signed by so time, then we cannot do anything. Meaning, we'll be running with the old law. This is where these people are moving us to. But one thing for sure I know, and my conscience tells me this, and I listened to voice of reasoning. This is a revelation. How many Nigerians know that they've started this now with what they are electronic? And they will convince us that we did what Nigeria wanted us to do, that they've decided a dead snare there. My conscience tells me that either whatever happens, Nigerians will be prepared to vote every member in the House of Representatives and as presently constituted. You will find it difficult to, I'm talking to Nigerians now, I'm talking to myself. We will find it difficult because they will move. These are the people called money bags. They will move with money. But what is wrong, my brother, my sister? Take the money because they did not come with their father and their mother's money. Most of them, we know their father and mother died in poverty. Don't we know them to their roots? Their mothers, their father, most, I'm not saying all of them, they are aristocrats there from beginning. But most of them, their fathers, their mothers, get back to the village where they were born. You will see the hut, which was the house they lived. Granite selling and those, they die in poverty. So they will bring the money to you. So which means what they are bringing to you is not their personal money. It's not their father's money. It's not their family's money. It is Nigerian money that they have stolen. Take it. It's your property. Take it from them. Then go out there and vote your conscience. As Senator Arumeme, the senator that was appointed chairman of the limited company of NFPC before, what is his name? Hope Uzodinma from his state now went to work against him because with that position, it would be too strong for him to contest anything. And the wife of the Oyin of Oyin came in. The Oyin of Oyin, Senator Etakibuebu. The Oyin of Oyin, the wife has come in now as chairman. It was a rumor that asked somebody one day that, you gave us money that we should go and work for elongation of tenure.
Today they give receipt.
You are asking for that we should refer the money. They don't give receipts where you give bribe. Is it not bribe to give them? So Nigerians, when they bring you this money, it is your money. It is our money. Take it from them joyfully. Thank them, otherwise they may not release it to you. After you taking it from there, take your PVC. Go to that place, vote him out. You are doing something causeless with your conscience, and you are walking the integrity of God out. I do. Every other thing, I will break Money Digest into two parts. Every other thing that remain on the menu we discuss because I have gone too far into the time. But please, I decided to tackle these two. Absalam Abubakar brought himself on the door because his conscience prosecuted him. It was a statement he shouldn't have made. Then look at what the National Assembly has decided. It was the new bill that is going to President Muhammadu Buhari. And President Muhammadu Buhari, if he's working in clear conscience, he will reject it.
And then it go back again for another round of debate.
Please let my people participate. God bless you.
Thank you, Guru, for that expose. Well, Atanda Olawale has the same thoughts on WhatsApp. Says, good morning, beloved Guru. Says, as an erudite, versatile, and cerebral journalist, says, please God to make your repository of knowledge and wisdom. I also appreciate your grace of humility. I say, may God continue to increase you more and more for your magnanimous gestures.
Amen.
May God preserve you. Adu, Kunu, and your families as well. Make you rapturable unto eternal life.
Amen.
I like that phrase there.
Yes.
Atanda Olawale is the one giving those gracious words. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you, please.
Bobla says, wonderful, wonderful Guru. Remain blessed. He says, Guru, you have not shed light on my question, oh. I've been asking you since you have said nothing but the 100% truth about this country on your recent program. And that is, no clean and honest person can get to the number one office in this country because our politics has been structured to be dirty. So, my question.
That answer you want, all this one where you dey hear, you don't know where we they go. Oh boy, make you take your mind, read this thing well, as we dey talk for worry.
Nomso from South Africa says, Adu, please can we have recorded podcast of Guru's presentations at the beginning? Oh yes, Nomso, it's on YouTube. The episode of today's show will be on YouTube at Lagos Talks 913, also at Godwin the Guru on YouTube. So you go to YouTube maybe later in the week, Thursday, Friday, you'll find it there, and you can watch it and have it as record for your consumption.
All the way from South Africa.
Yes.
Kudos, bros. We salute you. Thank you very much.
Let's go to Twitter now, because people are joining
Twitter.
us.
Yeah, Twitter is back, yeah?
Twitter is back, Guru. Udochukwu Nadi says, it's Abdullahi, or Abdusalami, I guess he meant to say, said Abiola died because he was sick. Then maybe Abacha died because of spiritual attack, and Kuriat Abiola was killed by a stray bullet. This man should have continued in his silence since he chose not to speak when it mattered. Okay. Adegboyega also joins us on Twitter. It says, today's historical perspective is what Yoruba will say, Oroyi Somileno Buyosi Isolo.
It's so fat into my mouth. Buyosi.
Oh, okay.
Put salt. And it's ordering me to swallow it. I'm saying it because it's my son.
Thank you, Adegboyega. Thank you, Guru, for the translation. It says, one is in a dilemma to choose between two conditions by weighing the merits and demerits. Unfortunately, leads to death. General Abdusalam, that is now talking about how MKO died. Could it be that the spirit of the dead is haunting him? But I know one day both the living and the dead will meet face to face. The secret things is known to God and those that are involved in it. Jatavo on Twitter says, Adu and the Guru, I second the motion that based on the clause that prevents the public from going to court to question the certificates of the candidate, no senator currently serving must return. For that, I'm not voting for DSP Omagege. I guess that's his own representative.
I think so.
Tunde Ibitoye on Twitter says, thank you so much, Guru. I'm so glad listening to all you have said today. All right, let's go to the phone lines then. Numbers to call 0809-234-5913, 0809-191-3913, and 0809-222-0913. Then you can also join us on 015150-913 and 015151-913. Hello, can you turn off your radio? Call us.
Yeah, the radio is off. Mr. Ado, good morning. The Guru,
good morning,
and God bless you for that historical perspective.
Thank you, sir.
Honestly speaking, that Major Daniel Bamidele's spirit will haunt a lot of those that took part in the demise of that man. I worked with MKO Abiola for 15 years. As a chairman of ITT, I mean Abiola now. The death of Abiola pains me because we were sharing the same building, 3A Korodu Road. And when that man died, after I have gone to my village to campaign for him, and they called me Abiola Pikin. They allowed that man to die that way. And today, why hasn't this man kept quiet for life? I mean, Abdul Salam Abubakar. He shouldn't have woken us up to refresh our injuries on this. And finally, on the you cannot challenge birth certificate, you cannot challenge educational certificate. Yes, it should be so, but I pray Mr. President will do otherwise. Even though today we are still looking for his own secondary school certificate. Toronto certificate, and then those that are 69 and then their daughters are 16 years. They got their daughters when they were 9 years old. Time will tell. We will get there one day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just an interesting thought, Guru. What if the president signs? Just an interesting thought.
Very, very, what do they call that question?
Rhetorical question.
Rhetorical question. You don't expect my answer.
No, I'm not expecting your answer.
Well, only to be thought-provoking, okay?
Hello, good morning. What's your name?
Good morning. This is Mr. Patrick calling from Vote.
Mr. Patrick, go ahead, please.
Yeah, it is now that Guru is talking. Guru, we enjoy their talking now because it seems that nobody, all these political parties, they say 190 something. What are they doing? This electoral bill is the only solution for the general masses of this country. We are suffering. Let the MP station speak about this electoral bill. This electoral bill is very important. Let them forget about the direct entry. Let us speak about transition of voters. Look at what happened to Anambra State. If not this electoral, if not this electronics, Anambra State could have been won by APC in Magomago way. That's the normal. Please let the AP station speak on this very issue. It is very important. All these political parties, all of them are silent. And Nigeria are just like this. Are we going to be like this forever?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Okay, please call us back. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Okol is my name, calling from Bagada.
Okay.
Actually, I'm phoning in for the first time, and I must commend both you and Guru for the fantastic job you people are doing.
Thank you.
Now,
First time.
I think that from what Guru has said this morning, the way out 2023 is that no person, whether in the National Assembly or state assemblies or presidency, governorship, no person that is serving as at 2023 will be returned back to the government at the state level, at the national level, and so on. So that we start on a clean slate. Even if we vote in rogues somewhere along the line, they should be able to checkmate themselves. So let that hit be. Whether it is PDP or no serving person that will recontest for 2023 election, we win. That is my take. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No serving person recontest.
But I was
win.
clapping for the man.
Yeah, he didn't
okay,
hear
now
you.
listen, let me clap for you again, being the first time caller.
Chief Udor says, good morning, all.
Sorry, Adu, please remind me of my bell. I'm going straight to the market to go and buy my bell today.
Okay, sir.
And you must not tap out with it again.
Chief Udor says, good morning, all. I'm happy the Eagles received that call from Abuja and crashed out the AFCON so that we can face our problems. We can't be rejoicing while the blood of innocents are crying every day. As for subsidy, removing it is not a problem for me, but stealing it back in the name of giving the same amount to some selected poor is the evil. Let them keep paying so that all of us will benefit instead of selected poor. Cause all of us are... I won't be surprised if Absalami also tells us that Kudirat wasn't shot at deliberately, but was killed by a stray bullet.
No, probably she caught the diarrhea as she was going and died in front of PepsiCo. I mean, what's the name of that company? 7-Up in Ikeja. He could tell us that now, that she left home ill headache, but she was caught up with diarrhea and one delicate dysentery that came high in front of 7-Up.
Wow, there's almost two to death in one spot. Is it possible? I've never seen that in my medical exposure and training. Dorothy from Lagos Island says, good morning, Daddy Guru. And Adu, what a touching historical perspective. Yes, it was.
I was almost crying.
Iduro Osi Ibere Osi in military milieu. I don't.
Iduro Osi Ibere Osi. Iduro stand Ibere. Lay down.
Yeah. In military milieu. Okay, I salute the gallantry of Major Daniel. Was he Major General?
No, Major.
Major Daniel. May he continue to rest in the bosom of the Lord. Okbayemi was one that gave us that message.
Thank you.
Someone even sent his picture to us on WhatsApp.
Thank you. That's him.
Looking very handsome.
That's him. Very, very brilliant. Very, very brilliant officer. All his documents, even from primary school and everything. In the military, he performed creditably. What they call it, when they come for something, is it D or something? They call them in the military.
Wow. I just had goosebumps right now. Just reading that.
I was almost shed it here when I was to conclude his statement.
And Larry Amos, thank you for showing us that the pictures of the.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
The late Major. I think he also put the words of the Major on his WhatsApp status to let people hear. It's sad when we let the rule of law go down the drain. It's very sad when we do that. This is from Martin from Ikoyi. He says, "Good morning, Adu and the Guru. I just can't stop thanking you, Guru, for always educating Nigerians. May Almighty God protect you always and deliver you from all your enemies and their evil plans." Amen. Martin from Ikoyi. Amen. Thank you, Martin. Chige on Twitter says, "Good morning, Adu and Guru. Thanks again for this historical expose. I think the Guru should be a prof, both in politics and history, and every student needs to pass through his class. They've already twisted history enough. They should just leave it like that, because let's go back to the phone lines.
Please do.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Dimeji. I'm calling from Kurudu.
Mr. Dimeji, thank you.
I have been an ardent listener of this program, and this morning is gladdened my heart when the Guru talked about Major Bamidele Idowu. He's a person I know personally. He was a big brother in my area, Abonipan, that is Diwa Street. His two elder sisters were living on the same street. When this thing happened, I thank Mr. Guru this morning that he did not remove anything away from the story. Because this is a story I knew very, very, very well. In 1983, when the coup happened, when Buhari Jagbon took over, we are just. I know this thing beforehand. And when he was narrating it, in fact, he made it exactly the way it was. I didn't read it from any newspaper. This is a true story from him himself. When he normally comes to our house at Lepan, Tiwa Street, then it was a very, very devastating story, and it was a very, very sad story. Even when that man was executed in 1996, the whole street was in utmost quiet. In fact, when we heard that, he was killed an hour ago, because everything humanly possible, the church, the Babala, everything, praying for this man, because he was a very big brother, the person we are looking forward to. Then, when we very gentle, the way he even described it was the way he was. I'm sure Guru did not know him, but I know him personally. And I knew how the whole thing was completely true. In fact, it was a nostalgic feeling for me when he was telling the story this morning. It's quite sad. And Guru, I thank you so much for the knowledge you have been impacting on the life of every Nigerian. These things you are saying about the electoral bill, I don't know whether our elected representatives were human beings or they have the interest of Nigerians at heart. I don't know at all. In fact, it's very, very annoying. Very annoying. I think the best thing is, I don't know, the best thing for everybody to be equipped with the voters card come 2020 and vote every one of these people out of that place. I'm taking another interest of people that will have the interest of Nigerians at heart. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you. Daniel, it was a sad story. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you very much. And the man concluded now by saying every person should dust your PVC. And let me add this, by the authority invested on me by the Creator of heaven and earth. Even if your PVC is 2011, it has not expired, though. It's not expiring. I'm not contradicting anybody.
I know, but you're saying what INEC said. So even everybody's even saying you're contradicting. You're just quoting what INEC quoted.
Okay.
Tao Min on Twitter said, out of curiosity, Guru, what was the comment of the officer that headed the tribunal after Major Bamidele's sudden or
the Major General Shas Diomu.
What did he say?
You know what he said? Okay, I will tell you. What he said is that it's okay. What you just told us now might be true. But how come that you are the only one hearing of every coup? The first one you heard it, you say you suffer. And this one you heard it and you did not say. And you breach a law of the military. And the best bet is that if you die, you will be removed from the category of those hearing everything about coup.
What?
Charles Jomo was my personal friend. That's the truth. Because at night, number 3 Webb Street, Ikoyi there, we meet. Always. Charles Jomo was... But... when this is military matter, this was military matter. That's the statement the chairman of the tribunal said. In order to help you from this cycle, go and die.
What about a prison sentence or something less lethal?
Mm-hmm.
Even if they wanted to punish him.
The man who called from Ikoduna, who said that Major was part of them.
Yes,
he made the statement that it was very sad of them when they heard that they have been executed 1 hour ago. You don't know the meaning of that. Professor Wole Soyinka, Professor Clerk, Professor Shino Ashebi went to make case for Mama Vasa because Mama Vasa was a poet. And they got there, they sat with the authority, the military authority, the highest. Let me not be mentioning him. The highest. They sat with them and they made their case. And they were promised that the matter would be looked to. Maybe you want to go deeper than that. Who was the best man for President Ibrahim Babangida on the day of his wedding? President Ibrahim Babangida's wedding did not take place in the mosque. It took place. It's a church wedding. You want to see the pictures? So I send that to you. One thing that will come very close, I may not be totally of how you always describe me, encyclopedia. Yes, I'm a little of it. But I may not be the total as you describe me. You promoted me above share level sometimes. But, oh.
All right, let's take some 1 or 2 calls before we sign up.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm on the line.
Prince Wise, you are. Please turn off your radio.
Okay. I've done that. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Prince Wise.
Guru.
Yes, sir.
Now, wow. If they will allow me, I will let you be one of the lecturers in Unilag.
Okay, Unilag.
You won't go far away now. You are in Lagos. Either you go to Unilag or you go to Lasu.
Lasu would have been better off. Since the vice
it's supposed to be a lecturer, you know.
Since the vice chancellor is close to me, Lasu would be better off.
So, I'm thanking you. May God bless you. I reach your knowledge more and more.
Amen.
Mr. Adu.
Yes, sir.
I thank you. Mr. Guru with you all the time. I know about it. So it can't be possible for all the national army to be voted out. If we vote all of them out today, we bring fresh body. The corruption in Nigeria is in the blood of majority of Nigeria. Corruption we are talking about today. Only we are having the type of democracy we are operating now. It's too expensive. We need the parliamentary system of government, not this type of democracy we are practicing now. So, as it is now, if we can allow Nigeria to operate before 1960 constitution, that we allow regional to govern themselves, that is best of a democracy. But if we are operating today, I'm telling you, if we bring fresh body to that Senate, fresh body to the national, to the rep, they will still do the same thing. Because corruption is in our system. That's our problem. At the moment we fail to kill corruption in this country, corruption will have to kill Nigeria. I'm saying this before.
Thank you, Prince Wise. Sorry, we run out of time.
We are running out of time. We're not running, but we have really run out of time. We want to thank everyone that participated. Yeah. Like as I promised you as we enter into 2022, I told you that we shall be bringing best of best, which you've never heard before. And this is why if two of us have to be sleeping even 1.5 hours every 24 hours, it will be worse to your hearing. But because these are facts, which are very, very scarce. Facts are gold. They are never gotten on the surface. You have to dig down before you lay your hand on gold. If you are in that, go to Zamfara State. I wish you Johnny Mercy of going and coming back. So today we are about to draw the curtain now, but I want to thank every one of you. Please follow me at my media, platforms. At Godwin, should I?
Yes, Twitter, you can say that.
Oh, I can say it?
Oh, you can.
Thank you very much. At Godwin_Buebu. Buebu is spelled as Buebu. @Godwin_Buebu is my Twitter. Go to Facebook, you see Godwin Etakibuebu. Follow me there. There is a page I created on Facebook called Veteran Column. The V of the veteran is capital letter. The C of the column is capital letter. You follow me there. Go and Telegram at Friends of the Guru. Join Friends of the Guru, because most of the things you are hearing now are going to be possible henceforth with enlarged territorial integrity by the contributions that is coming from Friends of the Guru. Just minimum of 1,000 naira per month, not by 2 weeks, not weekly, not daily, a whole month, just 1,000 naira. It will do a lot of things to enhance this enterprise. Then, of course, you go by my website. Somebody, I don't mention it. My website is there, www.godwintheguru.com. And of course, you go to YouTube, Godwin the Guru. Godwin the Guru is my channel on YouTube, and a lot of things are going on there now, because the band from banditry to,
I saw the video you posted yesterday.
To terrorism. What are the facts behind it? You don't know. But if you go there now, you will see the facts. You will not hold to the air. So this is what happened. So this is what is happening. So all these are benefits that we enjoy if we do all this. And of course, that phone number, I will still give it to people, because many call me up till now that is very, very urgent to their lives. But some call me at all that I keep saying it. But that will not stop me from not giving it out. But it's not meant for call. It's meant for short messages. Let me pay the bill of calling you back. It is 0906 887 0014. Please permit me to repeat that one.
Yes, please.
0906 887 0014. Tomorrow, by the grace of God, we shall be congregating here for the Money Digest, but I had promised that we take half of the remaining menu on tomorrow. Then Wednesday, we take the remaining half. And then Monday, again, by the grace of God, you will be there to listen to us, and we shall be here to make our presentation. So until then, before I say the final thing, somebody is calling the number. When he heard that, don't call, send text message. You can see difficult Nigerians. They are not only at the National Assembly, they are everywhere. Until Monday, please keep yourself out of trouble. Bye-bye.